We get a throw in here deep inside the right side of the Sounders' own half. AC French with a long throw in it. Matteo Polisi playing in the central defensive midfield role tonight. Maybe not something he's used to playing, as he's played a lot of attacking midfield or wide midfield this year for the Rovers. He's really found his home in that position.
I think all the players have just had to be so versatile these last couple of weeks just with the injuries. Like, we're joking about it, but going into Sunday's game, there was 10 players unavailable through injury.
Yeah, that's something that's never going to be easy for a coach to deal with.
And
Rovers did play a decent game in Sunday, you would say, Michael, given the circumstances, the heat. It's nice to see them that they didn't get blown out in Victoria, but unfortunately they didn't keep the one if you could play, which they could have done with a win or a draw as well.
they were disappointed they didn't take anything from it, and they had a great chance with about 18 minutes to go. Daniel Davidson forcing a double save out of the Highlanders keeper. If that had gone in with the amount of time that was left and the pressure they were putting on, you felt they could have possibly got back in the game and at least got a draw. They were disappointed with that. It means they finished the season without an away win or point even.
Yeah. Connor McMillan over the top, and there's Ryan Dillon. Speedy Ryan Dillon gets on his horse and gets there ahead of the defender in front of him. Arian Blackstock defending him. Nice ball whipped in by Hildebrand, and then again, should say that was the right back there. Kerman Panu whipped the ball, and Hildebrand just a little shorter to that one there. Cam Frost will settle down for the U23 of the Sounders.
And TSS carried a smaller squad really compared to a lot of the other PDL teams. 24 players they were carrying for most of the year, half of which were injured for about most of the year. Seattle have used 35 players this season, and we saw it. Portland's got a big squad as well. And I think that is something that they're going to need to look at next year, possibly having more guys here.
And have them on call as well, not just on the squad as well. That run down, and yeah, free kick here for the Sounders on the right side of the penalty box.
There's been a couple of players like Taktasaka and Jinan. They were more brought in as training players. The expectation wasn't that they were going to be seeing that many minutes. Anne's made 6 appearances. Tasaka's made 4. So it's kind of been forced upon them to kind of give these guys minutes. But it's good learning, and it'll give them an idea of who they might want to bring back next year as well.
We haven't seen Jinan for a while, as well, I should say. He's been training away in Germany. But hopefully he'll be maybe back next year if the opportunity presents itself. Here's Jones on the right-footed free kick, just headed over the bar for the Sounders U23. A good chance there as well. But both sides kind of trading blows a bit here. Rovers, I should say, haven't had a lot of shots on target yet, but they've looked dangerous going down the flanks with Dillon and Verhoeven providing the pace. Matteo Polisi gets the ball deep and beats one player and finds another one. That's Kerman Panu. The man in red and white plays it forward. Connor Hildebrand, shorter player, but very pacey as Cam Frost lost his footing there.
Yeah, Matteo Polisi is almost playing a sweeper role. He's been behind the centre-backs a couple of times so far in this match.
AC French. Back to Nathan Aoun. And at far side there for Renuka. And laid off there by Dakota Johnson. Derek Johnson, I should say. Derek Johnson plays it over the top, and Alejandro Varela had to let that one awkwardly bounce in front of his head. Johnson. Jones, hard tackle there by Varela, but it's poked free, and Mitchell Papadantu's played all over the park for the Rovers. Maybe one of the more players that has played everywhere for this inaugural team. Nice cutback there. Played in field by Satoshi Chafin. Nice play there to Casey French. French plays in a low cross. Jones was lurking in the area, and Varela scooped it up nicely, plays it out of a throw-in for the Sounders. 10 minutes gone here from Swangard Stadium, and Jones has looked very good. He's moved around quite a bit for the Sounders team. Like I mentioned, comes in with 4 goals and 3 assists.
Definitely the danger man. Did well with the Clan last year. Earned honours on the NCAA Division 2 All-American first team, even though he's Canadian. It always amuses me when Canadians make the All-American team. But he's highly thought of. Had a great season, 10 goals and 9 assists with the Clan last year from his 17 regular season games. And he was a danger man for the Clan. He strikes a fantastic free kick, so possibly watch for that tonight. Seattle need to win this if they want to keep their very, very faint postseason hopes alive. They still can catch Portland, technically. If Portland lose their last game and the Sounders finish with 2 wins, they'll be level on points. It looks like the top two will move forward into the postseason. Looking at the actual standings just now, it was a roller coaster of a weekend. Looked like Portland Timbers had put themselves in pole position to land the championship, thumping Calgary Rovers on Saturday night. But
Foothills.
then
Continue. Yeah.
then they came back and like fantastic win for Calgary 2-1, 90th minute goal to win it from Ali Musi.
Hildebrand, a bit of space, has a shot, and it's a beautiful goal from Connor Hildebrand. My goodness. Great ball in field from Zach Verhoeven, and Connor Hildebrand had a rip from distance. His second goal of the season. The Rovers take a 1-0 lead in minute number 12, gone from Swangard here against the Sounders U23 in the last game of the season. That, Michael, is how you finish off an excellent first season in USL PDL.
That's what we know that Connor Hildebrand is capable of. We've seen it a lot when he played for Fraser in the Fraser Valley with Aldergrove United. He's been disappointed with his performances this year. That's going to give him a big boost. That was one hell of a strike.
Great shot there, and 1-0 lead for the Rovers early on tonight. I was mentioning earlier that the Rovers actually tied 1-1 earlier. That's the Derby City Rovers, the other Rovers named club in the USL PDL. But this is a very balanced out Seattle Sounders team. That's something we haven't seen a lot of spread out scoring. Many of the teams in this Northwest Division in the USL PDL, they have 4 players that have 2 goals each with at least 1 assist. So very spread out scoring for head coach Darren Sawatsky of the Sounders U23.
12 players found the score sheet so far for Seattle, and I think having that big squad has allowed him to get all these guys minutes. It's trying to keep them happy though at the same time, which is something that I know the TSS guys had in mind. They didn't want to have a bunch of players that were only going to play a handful of games. It's backfired on them a little bit because of the injuries, but it's trying to find that balance. I think 24 probably isn't enough at this level because the games are coming thick and fast.
Play there to Satoshi Chafin. Good defending from Varela. He'll keep it in, play it towards halfway, and miraculous applause from the very well filled out Swangard team tonight. Good crowd on hand here for the last game of the season. Alejandro Varela tried to control it off his left foot. Daniel Davidson gets off his chest to Zach Verhoeven. Ziggy with the header right back to Daniel Davidson. He's got the pace to get there ahead of Rakuki. Davidson. Left-footed ball into Hildebrand. Hildebrand's got some space again. Tried to turn on his man, and he'll find Connor McMillan from distance, and that one just whistled wide a bit again as the ball goes all the way into the sand here at Swangard Stadium. But another good movement there from the Rovers using their pace and height to break down the Sounders U23 defense there.
You can see that the goal's really given them a lift, and they've got a lot of self-belief about them. One of the criticisms you can level at this team, and some players in particular, Verhoeven being one, is when things haven't been going well for them, their heads do seem to drop.
Yeah.
And it has felt like they're not going to get back into games. But when they've got the lead, they look a way more confident team. And we're seeing that right now.
Yeah, that's always a problem with young players, and things don't seem to go their way in life or in soccer. They tend to drop their heads, but it's always a matter of picking yourselves up again and bring yourself full into the next game. And that's what a lot of these Rover guys have done. That one off the face of Jones. Good to see he's okay. Daniel Davidson off his foot. He's got a fire in his belly here tonight. There's Matteo Polisi. Connor McMillan, or that's Ryan Dillon, I should say, in wide space here. Nice turn there. Good play from Ryan Dillon to get past his man. Dillon low ball right to Connor McMillan, and again, he couldn't get on the end of that one. Good cross and idea from Ryan Dillon.
Lovely cutback there.
Sounders will control again. It's Adam Jones. Jones giving away to Zach Verhoeven. Verhoeven with a nice turn, and again on his man Jones, who's equal height stature, and he finally wins it back for the Sounders U23. Matt Renuka will tell it down to his goalkeeper, Cam Frost.
And Verhoeven, like all the UBC players that headed to Beijing for that big university tournament, they'll have learned a lot down there, both on the footballing side and the non-footballing side. Zach Verhoeven learned that the Great Wall of China isn't actually just a wall when you actually have to walk it. He turned up expecting to take a photo of a wall, and then said it was more like the grouse grind.
One of the things you learn in foreign countries for sure is Cam Frost will play this one right to his defender's foot. There's Nathan Owen, who is it towards halfway and headed down nicely there to Alejandro Varela. Connor Hildebrand with another sleeky turn there. And he has fouled a free kick for the Rovers right near their bench. And Connor Hildebrand, along with Daniel Davidson, even Zach Verhoeven, have looked very good early on here for a Rovers team. Short turnover for them as well, playing on Sunday. That won a few complete battle. Unfortunate that they came out not on top, but congratulations to the Victoria Highlanders who won it. Good battle as well over those 2 weekends and those 3 games, I should say. As Connor McMillan fell down, tried to grab that one like a football player, and it's out for a throw-in for the Sounders U23.
Looking to see what Hildebrand does now. He's got the confidence from the goal to hopefully push forward, get a couple of others. It's his second goal in the season. Had limited minutes this year. He struggled to kind of find where the best place to play him in this team is. We've seen him mostly as a central midfielder, box-to-box guy.
In the box, Varela will use his height to get there. Satoshi Chafin gives it to Casey French. A couple of wonderful sounding names. The Sounders U23 and Connor McMillan bundles over Satoshi Chafin. No worries exchange there. I don't think it'll be much of a battle as it would be for a Portland Timbers U23 game. These guys still want places for next year, but also it's not a lot on the line as that Portland Timbers U23 game was a few weeks ago where Marcel Police got sent off for the Rovers.
Yeah, they want some pride. They want to finish the season with a win. A number of these guys I wouldn't expect to be back next season.
Jones, lovely right-footed ball into the box, headed away off the head of the defender there. That's Matt Renuka. Derek Johnson will let that one go for a goal kick for Andrew Hicks of the Rovers.
Although saying that these guys won't be back, the team that's out there just now is most likely to be the guys I think that they will look to bring back. Colin's talking about maybe 10, 12 as a core to bring back, and to cast the net further afield, it's been a very BC built team, and he's maybe looking to go elsewhere in Canada for next season.
Hildebrand did well to elude his man there, but eventually Nathan Owen gets the ball for the Sounders U23. Here's Casey French. Nice ball there from the captain of the Sounders U23, Trevor Jensen. Playing catch there. The 2 Sounders players is again, ball goes through Trevor Jensen. Toshi Chafin. Watched by Mitchell Papadance, who's played center attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder, left back, right back for the Rovers this year. Again, it's the issue of versatility, but as well, Papadance has looked very good ever since the first game we had here at Swangard Stadium.
I've liked what I've seen from him this season. He is definitely versatile, and in this modern game, that's what you kind of need to help get noticed and be brought on somewhere as a utility player.
Owen settles it down for the Sounders. He'll with his right-footed ball way over the top of Marcel Police. He doesn't have the pace to get there, but finally recovers nicely on against Edward Nah. Connor McMillan, nice little move there. And that's Ryan Dillon again, finding Zach Verhoeven. Verhoeven with a bit of pace to Herman Panu. And Alejandro Varela to Marcelo Polisi. Alejandro Varela again to Connor McMillan. Alejandro Varela. Marcelo Polisi. And again to Matteo Polisi. Turns it back, finds it to Dan Davidson. Davidson from a striker to a midfielder. Now is a striker passer. It eludes Varela. Keeps it nicely though for the Rovers. Varela has some time to work. Plays it all the way upfield towards Connor McMillan. AC French down to Zach Verhoeven. He's got a man coming back. That's Satoshi Chafin. Verhoeven doesn't mind that. He'll take on his man. Cuts it back. And again on Casey French. And French gets it back. And Owen will find Satoshi Chafin. Nice little move on Connor McMillan. And Papadance will settle down for the Rovers. To Alejandro Varela. Which is played to Kerman Panu. 20 minutes gone from Swangard to 1-0, and it was a beauty goal from Connor Hildebrand that opened the scoring for the Rovers. Kerman Panu to Matteo Polisi. McMillan, and again, Aaron Blackstock will win it back for the Sounders U23. Cute flick from Davidson to Connor McMillan, and then Kerman Panu fine with Marcelo Polisi. Tried to find Matteo, but it's turned over, and a great ball from Adam Jones to Satoshi Chafin. Chafin working on Papadina, cuts it back nicely. Chafin has a left-footed shot right into the breadbasket of Andrew Hicks, and he'll settle it down for the Rovers. Here's Alejandro Varela. At the back again, he'll play it to Marcelo Polisi. Kind of a 4-3-3 formation with Trevor Jensen, the captain, sitting back for the Sounders U23. That one's played all the way back to Andrew Hicks. He'll play in Alejandro Varela. All the way back to Andrew Hicks. Hicks a wide right to Marcelo Polisi. And again, the Rovers keep a nice possession. Matteo Polisi won it back to Connor McMillan. He and the blonde-haired Polisi will play catch and turn over to Trevor Jensen. Finds Chafin out wide right for the Sounders U23. Step over on Papadinets, plays it infield. Troy Peterson to Aaron Blackstock. All the way back there to the defender, Matt Renuka. A wide to Aaron Blackstock. Renuka as the teams trade possession here. A nice night from Swangard Stadium. The Swangardians out in full voice. You saw the smoke after the Connor Hildebrand goal. That one played way over the top, and Hicks and Polisi did a good job to talk about that one there. Alejandro Varela. That's Hildebrand who got the first goal from distance, and a beauty strike it was for the 18-year-old. Varela again for the Rovers. Ryan Dillon and acres of space on that right-hand side, but it's a long ways to get it to him. Renuka with a nice header down. Zach Verhoeven settles. And Alejandro Varela to Matteo Polisi. Over his head. Connor Hildebrand says screw it and puts it towards halfway. And there's Connor McMillan, gets the ball nicely for the Rovers here. Well done to win it back for the men in red and white in their last game of the season. Dillon, a couple of step overs. Plays it off Blackstock in the corner here for the Rovers after a lot of possession back and forth share between the two teams.
First corner of the night for either side goes to TSS Rovers. As you mentioned, Dillon was in acres of space there. He was having trouble seeing the ball. Maybe they were having trouble seeing him with his son as well. But he's a guy that they need to get more involved. He was the player on Sunday that I felt was going to be the spark that got something going for TSS. We've seen what he can do with SFU Clan. Saw what he could do pre-season with Whitecaps too as well, where he was on trial with them.
Definitely blends in with those bright yellow / green cleats in the far right side of the field there. Teo Polisi plays it up, and it's down for Ryan Dillon. Down the left side for Zach Verhoeven. Verhoeven moving on his man. Verhoeven tries a shot right at Cam Frost. Not a bad idea from Zach Verhoeven in that position on the field. Rovers haven't had a lot of shots on goal that far, despite the one they've had.
That was their third of the game so far. Second save for Seattle.
Derek Johnson moves in field. Nice ball to Trevor Jensen. Nathan Owen gets the ball once again. Laid off there nicely to Casey French by Satoshi Chafin. French out wide right to Satoshi Chafin. Chafin right for the ball off the chest of Polisi right to his brother Marcelo, who miskicks it. French lays it off to Jones. Jones out wide left here. Johnson settles, has a shot, and a nice block there from Kerman Panu playing right back for the Rovers. That was a great idea to get down and block it there, and his goalkeeper Hicks gives him a high five and a pat on the back for a very good defensive play. Maybe save the Rovers a goal there, or even a shot from Hicks, which he doesn't mind doing the way he's been stopping the ball and seeing it for that matter this season. Jones will play in the corner for the Sounders U23. Jones puts his hand up, long down the field, and now in header just wide left of the goal. Hildebrand away. And Ryan Dillon, look at the pace he's got here. Chafin matching him is speed for speed as well, but Dillon's going to get there ahead of him. Now what can he do with it? Dillon on the left wing. Steps back in field to Zach Verhoeven. Not the best pass from Verhoeven. That one right to the feet of Trevor Jensen. And Hildebrand deemed to be fouled him, which not sure about that one. For Connor Hildebrand, looked like he won the ball fairly. Either way, it's a free kick inside the Sounders' own half. It'll be taken by Nathan Owen, the big number 24 for the Sounders U23.
Yeah, I thought Hildebrand had won that fair and square as well. He's a tough tackling guy. I liked a good tackle.
Throwing again for the Sounders. Ariane Blackstock will step up here for the those turquoise blue shorts. Match the sky. Yeah, don't see a lot of different hairdos like we have in past Pacific Northwest teams, such as the Portland Timbers U23 right now for the Sounders. But
Well, gladly no man buns on the pitch.
Michael and his man buns.
Or hair bands. Two of my pet peeves.
Here comes Ryan Dillon. Nice ball from Connor McMillan. Not a bad idea. Dillon gets past his man, Arian Blackstock. He's got Daniel Davidson in the middle, and he waited a bit too long. I think it was too awkward for him as he was falling down. Connor McMillan let it go for a Rovers throw-in.
I was wondering if Dillon was going to go down the box there. He was getting tugged the whole way, but credit to him, in some sense, he stayed on his feet.
Yeah.
But you do feel if he'd went down there could have been a call.
Good idea as well from Ryan Dillon to get past his man down the right wing there and had a good shot on net, or a good pass, I should say, but well defended by Nathan Owen as Vanuka switched to cover his man Davidson.
I think Davidson was a little bit slow there. He needed to move forward towards the ball just a bit quicker.
Kerman Panu with a throw for the Rovers. Playing out of position right back for him tonight. I know Colin has told many of his players, are you willing to play this position? And gladly accepted it. Nice ball from Matteo Polisi. Daniel Davidson with a header, and Cam Frost got down to save it there. Good positioning from Davidson. The ball kind of floated up, seemed like it was in the air like a beach ball, and Daniel Davidson positioned himself well to get a flick-on header, and Cam Frost gets down to make the save for the Rovers, or the Sounders U23 for a Rovers corner. 27 minutes gone from Swangard here. Rovers still up 1-0 on a beauty Connor Hildebrand goal. Verhoeven sidesteps Adam Jones. Polisi try to inside of the foot, swinging shot just wide of the goal. Cam Frost will get it for another goal kick for the Sounders U23.
That was a great chance for the Rovers. Davidson met that ball fantastic, but what a save from Cam Frost, keeping his team in this. You kind of feel there's still 2 games left for Seattle, but they're kind of playing like an end of season pace. There's still some stuff up for grabs, and I'd have expected a little bit more from the Seattle team. Having seen the 2 games down in Seattle, they're a very dangerous team, but I don't know, they just seem a little bit pedestrian tonight.
Sounders U23 did make it past the first round of the U.S. Open Cup this year, but eventually lost out. And speaking of underdog teams in the U.S. Open Cup, it's the Miami FC and FC Cincinnati. We'll see if we can get a score on that later on in the match for you. But again, that game was rain delayed. Nathan Owen. A wide left here. Derek Johnson working on Kerman Panu. See if he can now do the makeshift right back for the Rovers. And again, that's Connor McMillan off a great defensive play from Ryan Dillon, who's been everywhere for the Rovers tonight. Ryan Dillon back to Kerman Panu. Then to Marcelo Polisi. Loves the switch, and he uses it there, but not the best pass. Connor Hildebrand did well to get down. A nice play to elude his man by Satoshi Chafin. This is Chafin down the right wing. Baked out Papadines nicely. And a good way to get back there from Mitchell Papadines. Clears it out for another Sounders U23 corner here. Sounders U23 right now 3rd in the Northwest Division. 6 points behind the Portland Timbers U23. 7 behind the Calgary Foothill.
You have to feel this is a great chance for Seattle to get back in the match. Rovers defending at corners has been woeful this year, and that was their downfall on Sunday again against Victoria.
To say the least, the defending has been poor in corners. Is dropped down there. There's a shot off the head of Kerman Panu, who's made a couple nice defensive plays for the Rovers, maybe saving a goal or two, and this is a good chance. Connor McMillan finds Zach Verhoeven over the top. Not a bad idea from Connor McMillan. 1-on-5 for the Rovers. Verhoeven, doesn't matter anyways, cuts into his right foot. Lays it off for Matteo Polisi. Polisi has a strike just over the goal, and again, you saw with the way that the Sounders were coming back, it was going to need something special for the Rovers to put that ball in the back of the net. And Matteo Polisi, not a bad shot again, but he misses the target for the Rovers. Maybe Verhoeven could have chosen a better option close to the goal for that chance.
A quick breakaway, though. I mean, they looked really dangerous, as they have done for this whole game. And they've got the ball at their feet, and they're running at the Seattle defence. They look a fantastic attack inside. They just need to do more with these chances.
You would have to think this is one of the stronger. As that one off of Alejandro Varela. Willie and Colin not very happy about that, but you have to think this is one of the probably one of the strongest lineups that you can put out for Willie, given the circumstances and where players are in their time with their club and university careers.
Yeah, I mean, I think centre back, you'd probably maybe have Andre Beers there if he was healthy. Well, he's suspended from his sending off. 2 game suspension he got for this sending off in Seattle.
Casey French tumbled over there, but the Rovers won the ball. Tear to Derek Johnson. Johnson step over. Kerman Panu did well to get it back there. And Panu wins it back for the Rovers. Well done. That's 3 defensive plays now for Kerman Panu, playing in maybe out of position role for him. Davidson again. Zach Verhoeven. You know he's going to get the ball, and he does. Great ball from Matteo Polisi. Verhoeven, first touch off his right foot. Cuts inside. Verhoeven still with it. Verhoeven to his left foot, and a great defensive play by Nathan Owen. And I'll tell you, that was some special stuff there from Ziggy Verhoeven for the Rovers.
I thought we were going to get a chance to finally go Ziggy Ziggy ah, but sadly not. But he's really causing a lot of trouble here.
Hildebrand to Davidson, and again, slow motion up in the air like a bullet through the air, and that one just about for Daniel Davidson got in for the Rovers.
And the Rovers have had 4 shots on target in the last 5 minutes and a couple of other attacks that haven't led to shots on goal. And they're kind of up in the tempo, but they're definitely playing on a counter-attack. This suits their style. They want to use the width of the pitch, with Dillon on one side, Verhoeven on the other, pace the burn. They just have to get these guys the ball at their feet, and you've seen the danger that they caused to this Sounders defence.
This is Satoshi Chafin through the legs of Mitchell Papadakis. Chafin out wide right here. Troy Peterson, low cross, Matteo Polisi plays it away. So speaking of weather changes in past U.S. Open Cup history where things have happened in regards to upsets and weather issues, the game between Miami and Cincinnati has not started yet, which is...
It's actually been called off for the day.
So
and they're not playing it tomorrow.
So I was thinking about the 10:30 issue, the Eastern time, and they wouldn't want to play a game till 10:30 at night. So
yeah, so that it's now been officially called off, and they're not playing it tomorrow. So all those Cincinnati fans are going to have to make their long trip back to Cincinnati.
Going off of Adam Jones. There's Ryan Dillon for the Rovers. Dillon sidesteps his man, tries to find Verhoeven, and again, that one too far. That's got to be frustrating for Cincinnati. They brought a strong squad down there as well, but you got to think with the reinforcements of San Vitne and Kyle Gregg from the Whitecaps, that might add some tenacity to their attack and defense as well come maybe next week when the game is probably going to be rescheduled for. But it's weird with the scheduling of the U.S. Open Cup because usually they have it week to week, and those knockout rounds is a bit more spread out, but we'll see the way the scheduling goes as well to try and fit that into either team's schedule.
I saw some of the footage on Twitter that they were doing of the thunderstorm, and it was torrential rain, and it never looked like it was going to be on after the thunderstorm hit. And yeah, a good chance for DeVitt and Gregg to possibly make the lineup next week. Now they were featuring today. Sim DeVitt, still in Vancouver, was at the Whitecap 2 game as a spectator, saying goodbye to his old teammates this afternoon.
Casey French will get the throw in for the Sounders U23 on this right side off of Trevor Peterson. Kind of play. Troy Peterson, I should say. Tail Polisi towards halfway, and Ariane Blackstock gets it back for the Sounders U23, but Hildebrand won it back nicely again as he's done so many times. Blackstock slip. McMillan has Dillon out wide right if he can find it. McMillan gets on his horse again and trying to beat Ariane Blackstock. Zach Verhoeven. Turned over to Troy Peterson. Troy Peterson all the way down and away by Alejandro Varela. Mitchell Papadakis to Marcelo Polisi. Speaking of things that are delayed today, the press conference between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather today for all you boxing fans is that the stream for that game was actually delayed an hour because Floyd Mayweather had not shown up yet. And if you're a fan of fighting at all, you would know that very feisty press conferences between the past 2 days. Down the right wing here for Satoshi Chafin. Off of Mitchell Papadakis, off the corner flag as well.
Well, I think if you put an Irishman in front of a microphone, anything can happen. That's why we keep Joe Deasy doing the stats here beside us, not giving him any mic time.
There's some choice words spoken at that press conference today. That was uncensored as well, so see if we can fix that for next time, as Adam Jones will have a left-footed shot over the goal. It was more of a Comedy Central roast than a press conference, in my opinion, but...
We should do that for one of our commentary games next year. Just completely unfiltered. Which some people would say I am at the best of times anyway.
Sure will, dear. Colin will enjoy that one.
We're both being filtered tonight, though, 'cause I'm not really sure that anyone's hearing us right now.
Speaking of different things before the game here, Jada Merritt paid a visit to the press box before the game. Despite he was going to the wrong place, it was still cool to brush shoulders with a former professional soccer player. He is here tonight. This is his third game in attendance, if I get my numbers right.
I think he's been at all of them, actually.
By yeah, maybe just
I've
hadn't
seen
been
photos
public
of
about
him
it.
with a beer in amongst the Swan Guardians.
Maybe my math or seeing him isn't correct, but he hasn't been very public in all his visits here. The ones he has been, he's been very vocal about, which is good to see an ambassador of this soccer club.
Yeah, he's on the board of TSS, came through PDL. I mean, when he was at college, he played in PDL. He speaks very highly of his time here and what it's meant to him. As did Brett Levis, who I had a chat with on the AFTN podcast a couple of episodes back. He speaks very fondly of his time playing PDL for the Highlanders and then for the Whitecaps as well. And those are the kind of guys you look up to them and you hope that some of the players that we're seeing on the pitch this season are going to make the move up to MLS or higher.
See that there's a few players on either sides that could make it for all the all the different players that have appeared against the Rovers this season. You see there's some very good talent along with Bruno Zebi of the FC Edmonton, who's appeared there as well, plays for Calgary Foothills. So we'll see who makes where later on in these next few years.
And you've always got the Canadian PL on the horizon as well. And I know it's something that Colin and Willie have told all these players that you're basically auditioning for these teams, and it's the best audition you can get. They're seeing you play at a good level. Go out there and show what you can do. And a player like Andrew Hicks has definitely played himself into contention for a contract after an outstanding season.
And this last year being his final year at Trinity Western, senior moving on, we'll see if he can try and get a move somewhere else.
Yep, free man out, plays with Langley United in the Fraser Valley League right now.
Out wide left here, Derek Johnson. Nice tackle there in the box from Kerman Panu. Well done. That's another great. That's 4 now this half for Kerman Panu that he's won the ball in a very good area with the Rovers. He'll try and spring Dan Davidson.
Panu has had an excellent game tonight and some really well-timed tackles. I'm waiting for a TSS penalty. I do feel that it's tradition that we get one in a game now.
Oh, wouldn't be a TSS Rover broadcast without a penalty for sure. AC French will get the ball. Speaking of players moving on from clubs, there is a common club known for national team pool players called Unattached FC. I'm sure Andrew Hicks won't find himself on that in the near future. But speaking of Canada soccer, an excellent 1-1 draw yesterday with Costa Rica. And as well, the Honduras scoreless draw with French Guiana means that hopefully Canada will make it through to the next round.
Although who knows what's going to happen with French Guiana.
I was just going to say with Florent Maluda, the aforementioned, I was actually excited to see him yesterday, but he looks a little worse for wear after his many years of playing with the French national team.
It's a whole strange situation. It's a mess that CONCACAF dug themselves into by allowing them to name Maluda on the roster to begin with. If you allow a player to be named on it, why should the team not play that player?
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly.
It makes no sense.
Marcel Polisi plays it towards halfway. Nice headed down by Rakuki, and Mateo Polisi sidesteps his man. There'll be a free kick here for the Rovers, Trevor Jensen. Some notable alumni as well for the Sounders U23 team. Miguel Aguilar, who played with LA Galaxy 2 last year, now plays with DC United, new signing this year. Jonathan Campbell, who the Whitecaps have seen this year playing for Chicago Fire. Joey Gertzen, who played with the Whitecaps in their USL days. As well as Jordan Morris, who started for the U.S. men's national team tonight. We'll have to see how he did later on. DeAndre Yedlin, I should say, as well, of Newcastle, as well for the U.S. men's national team, all have played in the past for the Sounders U23. I'm sure we'll see some of those guys as well. Maybe an Adam Jones a step up later on as well in the near future.
And over 70% of players selected in this year's MLS Super Draft had previous PDL experience. All the Whitecaps draft picks had played PDL at some point.
Foul there, a free kick here for the Rovers.
And remember, all season long, you can follow your PDL news on uslpdl.com. If you're tweeting about the matches or tweeting about PDL, use the hashtag or check the hashtag Path2Pro.
Follow myself at Gideon Hill 18 on Twitter, as well as at AFT in Canada from Michael. Follow us on the Twitter network. Connor McMillan will get the free kick here for the Rovers. A decent way out from goal. He's quite perpendicular ball here. He'll chip it in. Nice ball there. The flick on header is into the back of the net, and it's a fantastic goal from Mr. Daniel Davidson. Rovers 2, Sounders U23 nothing, and I'll tell you, this is one heck of a way to finish the season for the TSS FC Rovers. Davidson flick on 2-0 Rovers here in minute number 41.
Lovely little flick from Davidson, just turned his body there to flick the ball into the back of the net, past Frost. We've seen him get a couple of those this season, very deadly in the air. Colin Elms has talked about it, he can do nothing for a game for 20-30 minutes, just needs one chance, bang, in the back of the net. Adding to his goal tally, 5 for the year. The black smoke monster is off in the Swan Guardians behind the goal. Happy days.
Doesn't matter what goal is scored either way. The color of smoke that comes out of the canister each game is a surprise, like a birthday present. And right now, the Swan Guardians are celebrating. All the members of the TSS Rovers, not even the academy, even the players right now are celebrating that goal from Daniel Davidson. As Andrew Hicks, I'm sure, not very happy with the smoke being played into his face right now. But
yeah, we've got some pinky purple mixture now going on between the red and the black smoke. Black smoke just makes little sense to me. It's like you're going to have fire crews coming with all the wildfires in BC just now. I'm pretty sure people aren't wanting to see smoke coming out of Central Park.
yeah,
and it's more coming. It's the last game of the season. They've got all this stuff. You can't guarantee it's going to keep for the winter, so just let it all
yeah,
off.
for sure. Especially with the winter we had here in BC, I wouldn't bank on anything. Zach Verhoeven. Again, he comes up here and again, and it's Ryan Dillon. Ryan Dillon has to turn back on his right foot, plays the ball into the box for Connor Hildebrand, and again, ball eluded him a bit. You'd have to think Ryan Dillon took one touch too many there as he broke forward.
TSS tails clearly up though, and they're sensing blood. They want to finish with a flourish, get a couple more goals, make their goal difference look a little bit more respectable.
Nice ball from Verhoeven to Connor Hildebrand. I was talking about before the Rovers goal, and they took from me the free kick, that Connor McMillan was almost straight on a line to the ball when he took that free kick, and it showed in his delivery. It was a straight beeline curve to the head of Daniel Davidson, off his head and into the back of the net. Rovers up 2-0, sitting pretty here at Swangard.
2 fantastic goals as well from the Rovers.
Trevor Jensen shoves down Connor McMillan. That's a free kick for the Rovers here, up 2-0. And you'd have to think, if this team, this same team, maybe change a couple players, but if they were together the whole season, what they could do with the full squad for the full 13 games before this, because they're looking exceptional so far for Willie Cromack and Colin Elms for this Rovers team.
And you saw it in the first game of the season, 40 minutes in, 3 goals against Calgary Foothills, like the favourite for the conference, last year's Western Conference champions. And you thought at that point, this is fantastic, this team can really do something. And I was speaking to one of the players' dads last week, and he was saying they were watching the game and they were like, wow, this team could really be something. And the injury curse, it's really been unbelievable what they've suffered this year. As you say, if this team had the chance to play together, to be together, they're definitely a team that would be up there right at the top.
No, that's without the likes of Jelly Bukaz, who's on the bench tonight, one of their first ever signings, and Joe Waterman also not here tonight, and not to mention Mamadi Kamara, who could also add a lot to this team. So a couple of big losses tonight for the Rovers.
Then they bring in a player like Christian Elihaitanen, and then he gets injured now as well, so he's out. So it's been a tough go for it. They've learned a lot in this first year.
Adam Jones to Derek Johnson. Get back to that point in his second play across the box, and Andrew Hicks gets a hold of that one. It kind of looked like the goal a couple weeks ago when this Whitecap, or they should say the Rovers, pardon me, scored their third goal against the Victoria Highlanders when Palisi scored off a nice pass from Daniel Davidson, but that chance goes to waste. No added time in the first half. Rovers 2, Sounders U23 nothing here in the last game of the season. Thank you so much for joining us so far. Hopefully this stream will work in the second half. This is Gideon Hill. Michael McCall will be back for the second half in just a few moments. Thank you for joining us here. 2-0 Rovers. Are you serious?
It's 2-2.
I scored about a minute later to make. Not so excited, but
Did Parseman score?
yeah.
Yes.
He scored the first.
Yes, my boy. Favorite.
I don't think we can buy it. It's all